Hello everyone, welcome to Prompt with Pal. Today we are putting the spotlight on GPT-5 inside Copilot Studio. Why this is a big deal? Because GPT-5 brings sharper reasoning, richer context, and stronger multi-model understanding right into the agents we build. So the Copilot we publish to teams or MC65 can think deeper, decide faster, automate more, and Microsoft has officially rolled this out across Microsoft 365 Copilot and Copilot Studio. And makers can now choose GPT-5. You can also notice a clean generative response model section in Studio where you can make that switch. If you're building an agent that reads documents ground in enterprise data, then take action. This is the upgrade you were waiting for. So let's dive in. So here I start by creating a new agent, Banking Insight Assistant. All I do is I start conversation with AI to give insights on the kind of agent that I would like to build. Today we are exploring how GPT-5 inside M365 Copilot Studio turns your agent from data narrator into an intelligent analyst. Microsoft's latest update brings GPT-5 into both M365 Copilot and Copilot Studio, letting every maker choose between GPT-5 Auto Reasoning, which dynamically switches between them. Let's start building the Banking Insight agent. Like you can see here, I have started providing information on the kind of agent that I would like to build, setting the goal that benchmark internal fraud data against RBI and CERT-In industry standards, providing all the required live regulatory sources like you can see here, which is service.india.gov.in, RBI. And though in the instruction I have mentioned to refer the internal documents first, like the fraud cases Excel and operational risk incident log that is available, I haven't really included in the SharePoint knowledge sources at this point of time, which I later add the SharePoint documents as a source for this agent. Together, these give the agent access to both internal records and authoritative public references that are available. Now let's test the base performance before turning on the GPT-5. The agent instantly maps activity, drawing the data from both the files. And as you can see, the prompt that I've asked is benchmark the fraud against industry standards. And the response looks factual. That is the benchmark fraud case against industry standards, where it calls out RBI classification bucket, all of those information that you can see here, reporting formats and common types like internal staff fraud and attempt cases. It's accurate but limited. A linear summary of the guidelines. There's no contextual reasoning that is reflecting in this response, no linkage to our internal data, and no next steps suggestion. This is what we saw in pre-GPT-5 model, structured extraction but little synthesis. Now let's open settings, generative AI, a model picker, switch from GPT-4o to GPT-5 Auto, which is an experimental currently. According to Microsoft's rollout notes, GPT-5 introduces deeper contextual understanding, grounding precision, and a dual path architecture. High throughput for quick queries and deep reasoning for complex analytics. Let's read on the same question. Immediately, the difference is striking. It includes information like your bank fraud profile last 12 months. And you can see initially, I haven't provided a SharePoint document library as a knowledge. And in the first prompt, when I shared without GPT-5 on, it was more like a summary at a very high level. It hasn't even touched the internal documents, though it was mentioned in the instruction. However, in this, you can see the striking difference. It includes information like your bank fraud profile last 12 months, total cases like 248, total amount involved is 38 crores, and average per case is 15 lakhs, and breakdown on RBI buckets that you can see by type, recovery rate, which is 25.4%, and it doesn't stop there. GPT-5 layers in the contextual insights. As you can see here in the follow-up prompt, I say, yes, please go ahead and tie back the internal data information, insights into what has been drawn here, and it comes up with information like gap versus industry. Your loan fraud share is 72%, aligning with RBI. Value high patterns detection lag 6 days is far better than the national average, which is less than 1 year. Next step, prepare a visual dashboard, and it clearly calls out the next steps as well. Now, the response isn't just data, it's reasoned, compared, prescriptive. It correlates your internal data set with the RBI master direction. That's the hallmark of GPT-5, analytical precision with grounded citation. This is what Microsoft calls reasoning you can feel. With GPT-5, the agent performs like a domain specialist, interpreting the data, validating the sources, and giving actionable recommendation. And because it's grounded in the enterprise data, every insight is traceable, compliant, and reliable. And here's the best part, GPT-5 is also available in prompt tool inside Copilot Studio, like the way you can see here. So if you want to build a focused prompt template, for example, regulatory audits or branch level risk reviews, you can now select GPT-5 there too. If you would like to go deeper on how to design and test those prompts, check out my episode on Inside Prompt Tool in Copilot Studio, because this is where the Copilots stop summarization and start reasoning.
So with that, let's close it with a quick wrap up. So GPT-5 in Copilot Studio gives your agent a smarter reasoning, better context, more reliable outcomes, and you can turn it on per agent via model picker. So your next step, pick an existing agent, switch on the GPT-5, run the same scenario and compare the before and after scenarios and the results that comes up. So you will feel the difference. So this is how human AI teamwork moves from helpful to transformation. So see you in the next week for more such updates. Thank you.